I have mentors, I have friends, and I have family that literally has stuck by my side the moment I became this program. And all of them in whole has given me my confidence back when I lacked it, my faith back in the community and society, because they believed in me like no other, and they seen some things in me that I didn't see at myself. And now this program is actually doing the same thing. I'm standing in that position where I'm now able to help the next woman that experienced the same things or feeling the emotions and experience the same things that I experienced after being incarcerated. Labyrinth Made Goods. I like to say I am a co-founder. Jim and David are co-founders, but they're my mentors, and that's where I met them. And they were initially on the first line of people that I met and was able to get me out of that leave me alone shell, that isolated shell that I didn't want to be bothered by anyone. And I'm glad to say that they are a part of my life and YWCA, Labyrinth Made Goods. When I have any questions, they are who I call. They're who I call. They're who I text message in the middle of the night and accidentally call also. But I know that this business, without the brains that they have offered, without the skills they have brought to it, without the partnerships they have brought to Labyrinth Made Goods, I don't know where we'll be at this time, and they're still supporting us right now. I was scared when I first met David and Jim. I was scared. My initial thought was, how do I present myself to men? And because, like I said, I had so low of a confidence and faith in myself. Your initial thought on men are dominant, and just, you have to be strong when you present yourself to men. And so I met them, but I was scared. So I kind of pushed them to the side, and I gravitated to the women that I met. I trust them with my life. Yes, 100%. And that's everyone that I consider to be my family. And that's David and Jim. It's Lisa Wilson, who David and Jim brought to Labyrinth Made Goods YWCA as the fragrance expert. If I was to give a reference about them, to the next organization, 100%, I almost feel like, I like to say, I'm living proof that Labyrinth Made Goods exists. And I like to say David and Jim are someone that's living proof why we should exist, why we do exist also. They are the prime definition of YWCA mission. Everything I just gotta go back, because I don't think that I can express as much as what level of low that I felt. Crying every day, sunk in place, and to meet them and not know anything, and they not know anything about me. They advocated for me, my voice. They taught me skills that and believed in me, first off, taught me skills that I just was like, nope, can't do it, nope. With confidence, I would say whatever David and Jim put their hands on, if it was dirt, they'll turn it to a diamond. For a long time, I questioned. They were the original, and still are the original mentors that never left my side. And they guide me through. I have countless stories. One story per se is David and Jim has been a part of my life. So they know the good and the bad. One of my goals, starting off at YW, Strive, which is a professional development program, also that gives you digital soft skills, transferable skills to prepare you to come to Labyrinth Made Goods, or to prepare to take you to another career, get back into the society. It's open up for males, women, people who has experienced incarceration. It was at that time. So the main thing that, which I never did before, I wrote a business plan, and my business plan was to open my own gallery. But I wanted to start off with just saying I wanted to be in a gallery. I wanted to experience that. And that was 5 years ago. That was probably 6 years ago, 2019, maybe. So 5 years ago, I wrote this whole business plan on the goal of me being in an art gallery, me getting back into painting. Can I say David and Jim was the first person that bought an art piece from me? Um, and that made me take off into painting, honestly, because I'm like, if they feel like they can buy something and they feel like my artwork is worth it, well, let's try to push it a little bit. Let's get more serious. Let's watching YouTube techniques that I never thought that I would do, because painting, I grew to know painting was just an outlet. Painting was a way to tell a story, to let emotions out, to ground my overly thinking brain, which I like to say anxiety, because I am diagnosed with anxiety. And so painting was just this, it's a type of artwork, it's a type of art that you can express yourself in. And I definitely learned that for David and Jim. They made art sculptures inspired by some women that they have met who have had a story to tell. And I was one of the women. And the way the sculpture was, I just remember it started off as a bud. It had buds on there. Mind you, this sculpture was covered in thousands of beads. And it started off as a bud, and it ended with this big flower that had opened, and had like spikes on it. It looks like spike petals. And the expression, the meaning of that sculpture being Shay, I just needed a little bit of help, a little bit of light, and I'll grow, was everything that David and Jim was to me. They seen this bud that needed sunlight, that needed watering, that needed some good dirt, some patience, some talking to, and they stuck it out until I blossom into this beautiful rose flower, or peony, or like, and they're still here to make sure I continue to grow